Hello, everyone. This is William Armstrong with a short video that I'm going to take you down a bit of a weird or a bit of an unusual rabbit hole of products that are discontinued that are no longer found. This is a GE Sanyo charger. It's a Sanyo charger, but it is a Sanyo based one. Once upon a time, there used to be a product that had GE Sanyo branding on it in the early 2000s, over at least 2 decades ago, that General Electric, a brand that is mostly common for appliances, TVs, stuff like that, they used to partner with a battery company called Sanyo to make batteries with the GE Sanyo branding on them. On eBay, I found a Sanyo battery charger that has GE Sanyo branding on it. I found one that's actually new old stock. That's a 15-minute one, stuff like that. But here's what I'm talking about. This is a Sanyo super quick charger shown here that is a charger that is a bit unusual. The reason why I got it is because I saw this charger back in 2007 that one of my high school teachers that had a digital camera that would go out in the community and take signs of like pictures of signs of like the crosswalk sign or signs like that back in 2007. And I remember seeing them having this particular charger, except they had theirs with a cord that plugs in the top of the charger. But this charger I've gotten off eBay in 2020 Shure has a fold out plug. This charger is made by, or it's manufactured for Sanyo Electric Co. Limited. Sanyo is a Japanese company that no longer really sells any products. I do remember seeing the Sanyo brand commonly on television as a kid in the 90s a little bit. Stuff like that. But this charger uses a fold out plug. You fold the plug down to plug into a wall and fold it up to close. It lays flat flush against it. But there is a secondary model that has, or a secondary variant that's got a plug-in, a power supply where you plug the cord directly in the top right there. This one has a battery capacity select, known as the battery capacity indicator. Rather, it's a battery capacity indicator that would show red for the must charge, orange for better, green good to use. This one has the battery chemistry type between nickel cadmium and the nickel metal hydride variant. It's got a chemistry switch you can flip up or down on it like that. So you can flip the switch up or down depending on the battery type you have. And another charger I found on eBay that stands out to me is the Duracell 15-minute charger. This is a 15-minute one that is no longer made anymore. Once upon a time, Rayovac, Energizer, and Duracell made 15-minute battery chargers each separately with their own branding on them that were sold over 2 decades ago but were discontinued. Energizer made chargers similar to that, except Energizer no longer produces the 15-minute chargers. I decided to take a look at a 15-minute charger just for the fun of it, and come to find out that the 15-minute charger uses a built-in fan that blows air upward. It pulls air in underneath the charger when it's on a table. It blows air up around the batteries while they're hot. It has indicator lights it goes from green to red. Flashing red is error, abnormal battery temperature. Flashing green is 75%. Solid green is 100%. Red is charging solid red. But this charger is able to tell whether the batteries are abnormal or not. It also can tell whether there's batteries inserted. This is actually a charger that uses 6 amps of current. It is 1.5 volts DC, but it's 6 amps of current for AA, 3 amps for AAA. The batteries do become hot on a very high amount of current. Radio Shack also made 30-minute chargers that would use 4 amps of current, which is very high current, and it makes the batteries that are nickel metal hydride become quite hot. As in, they have an exothermic reaction, but they get hot. They're not going to get overheat. They're not going to get too hot. They'll become hot to the touch. And obviously, this charger is 15 minutes, but this charger is able to tell whether batteries are inserted or not. Let me get its plug, and I'll show you what happens when I plug it in. I'll show you what happens when I plug it in with no batteries inserted, obviously. I'll demonstrate this. I got this used on eBay, not new. Obviously, you're not going to find old battery chargers from the past new. Of course not. You're going to find them new, few, far in between. Most of them you'll find used, but here we go. Let me plug it in. Get that plugged in. I'll show you what happens. The charger plug is a huge wall wart that's giant. It's not small either. So let me plug that in. I'll show you what happens when the charger is plugged without any batteries inserted. You'll see what I mean. It powers up like that. So it'll spin the fan for a brief second, and it does a check to see if there's batteries in the charger. So I do that again. It'll automatically stop if there's no batteries inserted, but it'll auto stop after charging's complete. So it does work, but it flashes its green light indicator on all four indicators. The fourth indicator light has an oddity in it. Therefore, the fourth one does light up, but it does not show through this light shroud. It doesn't. So I have to look in the top of the charger right there to see the indicator light on the fourth slot, right on the right side of it, depending which way you look at it. But the problem is the charger uses Torx screws. Duracell put Torx screws in the charger, so I need a Torx screwdriver to fix that issue. But this charger does tend to get very hot during charging, but it cools down. This Sanyo one gets hot during quick charging, but that's to be expected. I mean, I've had an Energizer 1 hour charger I've made a video on before, but the way Energizer made that charger is they made it with plastic that is brittle and it breaks under high heat. It fell apart on me due to the extreme heat. This Sanyo one doesn't do that. The Sanyo one will not charge if it is too hot. By too hot, I mean if you attempt to recharge the batteries that are rechargeable while the charger is already hot, it'll stop flashing the red light. A blinking red light means like a temperature issue where it's a temperature problem where the charger will stop if you try to charge the batteries in the charger, or if you try to recharge the batteries while the charger is already hot, it'll just won't charge until it's cooled sufficiently. That is a side effect of a quick charger that gets very hot during rapid charging, but it requires a few minutes for it to fully cool. I have tested this charger with my batteries that are rechargeable directly. This charger takes at least one battery chemistry, which is the nickel metal hydride version that is common now. This charger was made in the early 2000s. It could take the cadmium version and the non-cadmium version by the chemistry select there, here. It basically the cadmium batteries, the nickel cadmium ones are phased out. They have very limited use. You can still buy them online, but they're very limited use now due to environmental reasons. So there's that. Nickel cadmium batteries are still sold online mainly for solar lights, cordless drills, and stuff like that. They're not really used in consumer products as once were over 2 decades ago, like in cordless phones and things like that. This Duracell one only charges one chemistry. It charges the opposite chemistry, which is nickel metal hydride. It won't work with nickel cadmium. It just doesn't work like that. But this charger does work. It has a bit of a large size to it. It's lightweight, but I did pick it up used. I really won't be able to find too many new battery chargers, new old stock nowadays, just because one, the new old stock ones have been are still on eBay a little bit here and there, but the prices are very high. They include the batteries and charger, everything, but the old ones that are just charger only are a lot less expensive. I just wanted to take a look at these chargers, these particular rapid chargers, to understand how they are and why they don't really are. You really don't see these every day nowadays. You just don't. The only one you'll see is an Energizer 1 hour charger, new, sold in Walmart, Amazon, like that. But the older chargers that are no longer produced by Sanyo or Duracell, most of those have ended up on eBay for sale to purchase. So this is William Armstrong signing out. See you next time. Bye bye.